Russia is the biggest state of all the Slavic states. So
very true.
The first time when I go outside from the vehicle, it was like there is some storm somewhere. But it wasn't storm. It was not the sound of thunders that I hear. It was the explosion of rockets or bombs or mines. In the Western world, that is trying to make from Russia the only and the biggest enemy of the world.
Robert Fico was recently attacked. Do you think this could be connected to the Prime Minister's unique position in the European Union? And what do you think about these protests in Slovakia? Doesn't it remind you of preparations for another so-called Orange Revolution?
Definitely. Definitely, this is the case. I'm not a real big fan from Donald Trump because I see him as a rocket that is not directed somehow.
A plane without wings.
Zvezda Holding presents Dynamic Spectrum Talks now.
Hello, dear friends. This is the podcast Dynamic Spectrum Talks. I'm Anna Shafran and my colleague beside me, Yuri Lindre.
Hello, everyone.
Here in this studio, we are looking for common ground for something that unites people all over the world, especially those who preserve traditional values. Our aim is to erase artificially drawn dividing lines between peoples and nations and to figure out how we can all live together on this planet in friendship and good neighborliness.
Very true. And today in the studio, we have a very special guest in the history of our podcast first time from Slovakia.
Yep.
Pavol Slota, Mr. Pavol Slota, who is currently on a business visit to Moscow. By the way, he's head of the DOMOV party of Slovakia. And we are very glad to welcome you here in the studio. Pavol, hello.
Hello, I'm really glad that I can be here and speak to you, to speak to your viewers. So, and I have to say that it's not a business trip. I was invited by Russia Today, RT Doc, to the festival of documentary films that was in Moscow, and I have made a documentary film in Donbas about the truth that I wanted to show in the European Union and to the Slovak people. So
this is the question we will ask you a little bit later. But first of all, let me also ask you about your personal story, because this is the obvious question we usually ask our honorable guests. And what brought you in Moscow? Because you already said by invitation from RT, but this is not your first trip as far as we know.
No.
So please tell us more about yourself and general impressions that you have about the Moscow, our country, and Russia in general.
Okay, so the first thing that I can say about me, I'm a son of a big politician in Slovakia. So I'm the second generation of a politician that is national oriented, and we are also, or I am also, pro-Slavic, and that's why I try to make everything what is in my possibilities or in my force to somehow approach Slavic people in the world. And Russia is the biggest state of all the Slavic states. So
very true.
That's true. And the second, a little bit sad true, is that there is a movement in the Western world that is trying to make from Russia the only and the biggest enemy of the world. And through the propaganda that is in the European Union, and it was also in the United States, it's sadly through the decades of propaganda also a project that is successful. So, as a politician that is also pro-Slavic, that speak loudly about the truth, about the banderism, and about everything what is now through Elon Musk revealed, I had to be in Donbas. I had to see everything what is going on there. I had to speak with the people from Donetsk, Luhansk, and other regions, because if I want to speak about the truth, I had to see the truth. I had to hear the truth. It cannot be just on my analysis. So, and that's why I'm the fifth time in Russian Federation. I was also in St. Petersburg twice, invited by the Presidential Academy. I was in Ufa in the 6th Yalta Economic Forum, and I really like it. I really have the feeling that I'm not abroad, that I'm like at home.
So, glad to hear.
Yes. So you were in Donbas, you said
Yes.
about it, and you were there in Donbas after the launch of the special military operation. What impressions did you have? And we know that you shoot a documentary there. A few words about this documentary, first of all.
It was a sad time when I was there. The impression it was like a scar on my soul. When the first time when I go outside from the vehicle, it was like there is some storm somewhere. But it wasn't storm. It was not the sound of thunders that I hear. It was the explosion of rockets or bombs or mines. So, and when I look around, there were civilians, the people that are walking with their kids to school, and it was really strange for me. I'm a member of war veteran, modern war veteran in Slovakia. Like they have a union, and I saw the video footage of Yugoslavia and all the missions that they were in, but to see it with my own eyes, it was a different story. And the scary thing was that when I was there for a few days, it was also for me absolutely normal that on I don't know in 10 kilometers from the city or 5 kilometers from the city they were these explosions. So it was like I have used to be there and used to be with those explosions. It's really strange. And as I said, in Slovakia, I'm one of 3 politicians that they speak often about the special operation from Russia in Ukraine. That they speak about banderism, neo-Nazism, and if it is like on if I am speaking because I have seen it, because I was there, it's something different. If somebody is speaking because he read about it, and that's why I was in Donbas. That's why I was in Donetsk, Avdiivka, and all the other cities, because I have to see it, and I wanted to bring it to Slovakia, to the member state of the European Union, and show it there, because you cannot imagine how strong is the propaganda from 2022. Today we have the 24th of February, so we can speak that this is the day before 3 years ago it started, but it's not true. That is the mainstream media and also the politicians of the collective West are saying to the people, it's 3 years. No, it's not. It's not. It's 11 years today. 11 years of war. And thanks to Elon Musk and to the Doge in the United States that unveiled all the money that came from the deep state through United States, we can see that it was prepared before it started in 2014 on Maidan. It's a big story. It's a huge problem, and hopefully we will see in the future that those who was the creators of this war that lasts for 11 years will be punished. Hopefully.
You said that the reason why you visited this region, the Donbas area, was to see your own eyes what's going on there. Could you please tell briefly what did you see compared to what Western mainstream media want to present to its audience? What's the difference was between they broadcast and you have seen?
I have spoken with the people about how long they are living in war. So they told me it's that time it was 10 years. 10 years. So this is the main difference. In the European Union and also in Slovakia, the newspapers and the televisions, the mass media, at the start of Maidan, the color revolution in Ukraine, they started to write and speak about it, that neo-Nazis are demonstrating, the radicals are there, but it's changed. It's changed. In 2016, there is a liberal news in Slovakia. They call it Actuality and Denník N. They have written about 6,000 dead civilians at 2016, but at 2022 it was not true. There are no dead civilians. There is no civil war there. There is no 14,000 people dead. That is the biggest propaganda in the European Union. They are just separatists. It's like
they just cut a few years from this conflict, like nothing has happened during this time.
And all the people, all the dead people, all the kids, all the moms, grandpas, they disappeared. This is the biggest propaganda.
You just mentioned your mainstream media in Slovakia, but we know also that Robert Fico, the Prime Minister of Slovakia, is known for his constructive and balanced approach and views. And following Donald Trump, he spoke out recently in support of Russia and said that it was not Russian fault in the special military operation. First of all, what do you think about Robert Fico and his speech and opinion? And what's your position? And how do you forecast the things will be developed in the nearby future?
I personally know Robert Fico. My father, as I said, he was a politician. He was multiple times in a government, also with Robert Fico. So it's not a friendship. But we know each other, and I supported Robert Fico and his party in the last elections because I knew that he is the one who can protect Slovakia or make the situation stable. That's the main thing, stable. I wouldn't tell to Russian people that he is pro-Russian because it's not really true, but he is a really big statement and he knows what to do to make the situation stable, not just in Slovakia, but in the whole world.
First of all, he's pro-Slovakian. Viktor Orban, he's pro-Hungarian.
Yeah.
And being pro-Slovakian or pro-Hungarian from the point of view of mainstream media means you are pro-Russian because you do not follow the directive, let's say, policy from Brussels.
Yeah.
If you do not follow the mainstream politics, it means that you are pro-Russian. Easy.
You are an agent. It's like I am also an agent in the collective West. I'm paid with rubles because I'm here the fifth time.
So Robert Fico was recently attacked. Do you think this could be connected to the Prime Minister's unique position in the European Union? And what do you think about these protests in Slovakia? Doesn't it remind you of preparations for another so-called Orange Revolution?
Definitely. This is the case. In 2018, there was a big scandal in Slovakia. Somebody killed Jan Kuciak, a journalist there. And there was a big movement against Robert Fico, against Mera. That Robert Fico was the man who wanted to kill Jan Kuciak. Until now, till this day, we don't know if who was the guy who wanted the Jan Kuciak dead. Also, his fiancée, and if they wasn't killed because the color the revolution in 2018 had to have a start. The point why. So in Slovakia we are an exception in the European Union because we are post-communist state, and due to poll of NATO, Slovak people, or 2/3 of Slovak people, are with their heart more to the east, like to the west. So the propaganda, the brainwash is not really working so good on Slovak people, like for example on Czech people. And the attempt of attentat or killing Robert Fico is definitely the the case that those practice from the CIA, MI6 or Mossad, they worked on some group of people. We call them slniečkari, like the liberals that like the progressive idea of LGBT and so on. I'm using to say that those who are brainwashed, they don't know they are brainwashed. And this guy that shoot 5 times to the body of Robert Fico, he is an excellent example of a man who is like mentally ill and brainwashed, because he had to listen for long years that everything bad what happens in Slovakia is the fault of Robert Fico. Everything what you can imagine, everything. Also now we have the problems with the economy because of the last governments of Igor Matovič, Odor and Heger. And Zuzana Čaputová, like the president, she was also one of the destroyers of our economy. And today, all the parties that are in opposition, like liberal, they are saying it's the fault of Robert Fico. It's like mind-blowing. It's something that you cannot imagine. They just cannot. They even don't try to understand the situation. And the people, they are listening, and yes, it's like that. It's Robert Fico. And that's why this guy that was shooting, that's why he was shooting. It was like out of his mind. And those protests that are in Slovakia right now, the information from our intelligence, SIS, they are agents from Gruzinsko, Georgia. That are agents from Serbia in Slovakia that should organize the color revolution in Slovakia. It's real. Also, there are some Ukrainians, and a lot of them, not some, a lot of them, that are like sleeping cells. That they are waiting for the right time. They wanted also to take over some government buildings. It's a big problem for Slovakia, a big problem for freedom, big problem for democracy, and hopefully we will not be the next Ukraine.
And so, to your mind, what do majority of people of Slovakia think about it? Do they understand this case connected with the colored revolution and so on? What do you think?
A bigger half. So it's really close, but the bigger half is understanding that something is going on and it's wrong. And I'm not a real big fan from Donald Trump because I see him as a rocket that is not directed somehow.
A plane without wings.
Without autopilot. But right now, thanks also to Elon Musk. They unveil the truth. They are showing the truth about Democrats in the United States, and thanks also to Vice President Vance, who was in European Union to speak to the leaders, so-called leaders, because they are like destroyers of European Union, not leaders. They really. He said that the biggest enemy of European Union is not Russia. You are the biggest threat. You are sitting here. It's something that was not possible when Biden was the president. So there are big changes going on in the world. Also, Russia and United States are speaking to each other about the Ukrainian, about the special operation. But it is not just about it. It's I see it like United States have to somehow go out of the problem without losing the face. And it's more than funny that leaders like Macron that will be, I don't know, maybe for 2 months next 2 months president, or I don't know, Scholz, who will be there for next 3 days, complained that they wasn't invaded. Why? They really tried to prolong the war. And for example, you haven't hear Xi Jinping, president of China, to complain. He's a big player and he is waiting what will happen.
As well as Narendra Modi, the leader of India. He's not complaining about anything.
Yeah.
So,
and this is they are the real big players in the world. You can see it like through the force of army or through the economy. If you take now all the biggest countries and compare it with the European Union, like complete European Union, you can see one thing: United States economy is growing, Russia is growing.
Suddenly.
Nobody
expected it.
China is growing
all the time.
faster. India also. Only European Union is economically in the opposite way. We are falling, and Slovakia is economically on the tail of European Union, and that's why I'm fighting. That's why I don't hesitate. I'm here. I was also in Duma of Russia Federation. I try to everything what is possible to renew the relationships between Slovakia and Russian Federation.
You've just touched the topic of European Union, and economy is declining, and the current elites from the perspective of the new administration in the White House, the main threats towards Europeans. But I must ask you the obvious question, because you represent European Union as well, besides Slovakia. What will be the future of European Union? How do you see it? What will happen the next 4 years, at least while Donald Trump is in his office?
I was listening to Viktor Orban. He was speaking in the United States at the meeting, also at SPATS. And he told there that when European Union will not change from inside, something like reconstruction, it will fall apart. I think that it's 100% sure. I'm sure that it's not possible to change European Union from inside. It was a good project. It was really a good project, like BRICS. BRICS is a wonderful project that can succeed, and hopefully it will succeed. And European Union was also like BRICS. So there are some member states. They will cooperate on the economic level, and they will prosper, make money from the cooperation. And the euro was stronger than the dollar. And I think that was the biggest problem, that the euro was stronger than dollar. Now dollar have overcome euro. 98% in the international business. Dollar have take over the 98% of international business. Euro is not used anymore in international business. And the Americans, so the United States, they know the hegemony is over. They try to somehow manage it, that they will be one of the states that create a new world order. A safe one, hopefully. But they are trying to save the dollar as the currency of the whole world, of the reserve currency.
Because dollar is their greatest power, not the nuclear armor, not the tanks and bombers, but the dollar.
And it's also strange because those green papers are really just green papers.
This is why I'm telling you, because while everybody believes that dollar is a mighty power, so the dollar has its power. While if you consider it as just like a green paper, there is no power in the paper.
And this is a part of the brainwashing of the whole world. It's just in the mind of people, the mind of also the politicians. A great power of dollar. What great power.
Let me also ask you a brief question, because the topic of Europe is very important for us. We consider ourselves as European nation.
As well,
yes, of course, like Slovakia and other European Union members.
As well, I mean, that's we not only just a part of the West, but a part of the East too.
Yeah, but from perspective of today's conversation, I mean,
yes, agree.
We are part of Europe, and you just said that there is a possibility that European Union will collapse.
Yeah.
If everything will continue like it is now. So if there is no proper reconstruction of the European house. The concept of MAGA, make America great again, and the concept of MEGA, make Europe great again, some consider as some version of perestroika that was in the Soviet Union. You know what was the outcomes of the perestroika? Soviet Union collapsed. Do you think that MAGA and MEGA is also a straight way to dissolution, to the split up of something? Of the member states of the former world.
And so, by the way, who can be the main face of this mega perestroika in Europe? It's very interesting.
Slovakia, maybe? Okay. It was just a joke, because we are the smallest state and smallest nation in between the member states. or almost the smallest.
But if we remember that perestroika finished not very well,
This is what I'm talking about.
wish you to be this space.
That's why I said that it's not possible to make a reconstruction of European Union. That's my opinion, because there also today in Germany, the election is over, and when we speak about MAGA and MEGA, in Germany there is this party AfD that is second, and AfD is the party that could make big changes.
The difference.
The difference, because it's a party that is nationally orientated, like DOMOV. We are also a national party.
And the party of Sarah Wagenknecht lost this election.
Unfortunately,
Wagenknecht.
0.3% just left in order to pass the entry level.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I like her.
Unfortunately, yeah, we are so sad. No, but the CDU, the party where Merz is the leader, I cannot tell if he can provide stability to Germany through this win, because he had to have a big coalition, and it's I think that it will not last 4 years, and the concept of MEGA is not his thing. Definitely. Green Deal, yes. Green Deal that's the case. Green Deal destroyed European Union. Also, this proxy war against the Russian Federation that came from Washington, from the deep state of United States. It was not just against Russian Federation. The sanctions that was made, they were made up, maybe in Washington, maybe in London, maybe some of them in Brussels. They were also like against the member states of European Union. It was a hybrid war against Euro, as I said, and also Russian Federation. So we in the European Union, we cannot be stronger than United States.
So to hit 2 rabbits with one stone.
Yeah, 2 rabbits with 1 stone. That's the thing. And I know European Union is not ending on the borders of Europe. Europe is not ending on the borders of European Union. And that is also one thing, or one part of the propaganda. You are every day hearing the politicians of European Union speaking that Europe, like every state of European Union is Europe, and everything what is on the east of these borders is like, I don't know what.
Tartaria.
Maybe. You cannot understand it, but it's true. It's true. They are changing the mind of people every day, every minute of the day in the European Union. So they have the space. It's a politically made up space, and they try to put in the minds of people, of the member states, of the nations of member states, that this is Europe, and from here it's not. But it's completely wrong, because the part of Russian Federation that is in geographically in Europe is the biggest part of Europe. It's like
not only geographically but historically.
Also historically. And when I was young and I was in the school, they have teach us that it's like that. Europe is not ending here. Slovakia, something interesting. In Slovakia, near my city, approximately 60 kilometers, there is the geographical center of Europe. So Europe is really long, and not just European Union, but some voters of the liberals, they don't know it. They don't want to know it.
But if this project MEGA is not impossible in European Union now. What way can Europe choose to be successful in close future, or maybe not in close future, but in future in general? What do you think?
At least to survive.
Yes.
They will try to take over the way of the collective West when Biden was the president. So von der Leyen as the main bureaucrat in the European Union, because she was not elected. She doesn't have the mandate to speak and to do things for the citizens of the member of the nations of European Union, but that's the euro, but de facto she can, and we are seeing that they try to make up army of European Union. They want to put 500 milliards of euro into it, in this project. Also, really strange that Mr. Draghi, the ex-prime minister of Italy and also the ex-president of the Central European Bank, he he worked out a 400 pages report that the European Union is now not. We cannot compete. We cannot compete as a bloc with the United States. And if we want to be competitive with the United States, we have to spend around 750 to 800 milliards of euro into projects. So if you count right, it's 500 for the army, 800 milliards for the competition. It's like 1.3 billions of euro we need right now, because they want to continue the war, and we want to economically survive. So we have to make some project to be competitive with our so-called Western partners. It's mind-blowing. And we are speaking just about the top of the glacier. It's more and more and more. And when you relieve it, we can stay here for 4 hours, 6 hours, and we can speak about it. It's so complicated, so huge.
But you see, from the point of view of former, let's say, Soviet republics, like Moldova, or maybe from a distant republic like Armenia, for them, European Union is some sort of a dream, a paradise they want to reach. Because they speak all about this is a European dream, to live a wealthy life, to have a nice car, to have a lot of euros, and to be a European family. In reality, let's say Armenians are not Europeans, but it doesn't matter, because they want to live this dream. And from a point of view of a spectator, European Union still today looks quite impressive.
Because we have nice cars. It is really simple. We have nice cars. The historical buildings in our cities, they are nice. When you came to Munich, to Vienna, to Bratislava, to Prague, wow, it's really nice. But the thing is that the economy is falling. The collective West or the deep state. It is the best way, the deep state, because not all the parties, not all the states that are a member of European Union are like that. But they overtook the ideology. For example, the LGBTQ. It's destroying a normal way of life of a normal family where the father is a biological man and the mother is biological woman, and they have kids. And it's really sad that I have to say it like that. Father is biological man. It's 10 years ago in Slovakia, I just said father is man. Now you have to say it, biological. it's mind-blowing. And there are many ideologies like feminism. Feminism was created just to destroy the relationship between men and women.
To undermine the family.
Black Lives Matter. It was just made up because they have to destroy the relationship between the black people, maybe the Asian people, and the white people. And we can count more and more and more. It's divide and rule. It's really simple. It's really simple. And when we are speaking about mega, I think also BRICS is a project that really I hope that it will be the future of Slovakia, and I also try to be somehow involved. Hopefully, it will be possible, maybe in the near future, because it's a project where the sovereign nation have the place. The sovereign nation of a state is cooperating with another nation, and they are like the effect is they can make money, both of them. And because of that, I really have to say that I like the White Book of China. I don't know if you know something about that. There are 3 simple rules. If we want to live wealthy, we have to make everything what is possible to contain the nations of our world that created the world, the civilization as we know it. The second rule is we have to stop overwriting history. And then the third one, if we want to make money or wealthiness, we have to live in peace. Just 3 things, 3 simple things. Don't overwrite the history. Make sure that the nation will survive, and make sure that we will live in peace, and we will be wealthy and peacefully living also for our next generations.
This is what we in Russia also are focusing right now, to preserve the people, our people, to preserve the culture and the heritage.
Yeah.
Not to allow to rewrite history. And of course, to live in peace, because only peace creates wealth. The constructive.
Unfortunately, peace is also creating weak men.
Also true.
And the weak men are
creating chaos.
And you can change their mind, and you can through propaganda. And
what do you think? Can such countries as Hungary, Slovakia, Serbia, maybe, in the close future, can they have more opportunities to provide their own agenda and so on and so on?
To influence the neighboring countries?
That's a good question, because DOMOV, my party, and another party, SHO in Slovakia, we started to collect signs under a petition that is for referendum. And the question on the referendum is for Slovak people. Do you agree that the Slovak Republic will not apply it? This is the main thing. Not applied sanctions against Russian Federation that are destroying our economy. Today, we have more than 250,000 signs under this competition. We need 350. So there is 100,000 signs that we have to collect in the future. Sorry. But I think in the next 2-3 months it will be done, and afterwards we will go to Mr. President, show it to him, and we will see what will happen. And we already had a forum in Slovakia about this referendum. Now we are trying to do it international for all the member states of European Union, and they can inspired themselves by this petition, because one thing is that Russia is not our enemy. It was said also by Vice President of the United States, and it was the slogan for the campaign that we created with our friends from Italy. And this is the way how Slovakia, maybe Hungary, we will see if Fidesz will join. Also Serbia. Serbia is not a member state of European Union, but it's a state of Europe that wants to be a member state. Will join, and hopefully we will be the trendsetter as the smallest nation, as the really economically weak nation for all the other countries, because states. This is also one thing you can see every day on the newspapers. Also, your President Vladimir Putin, Mr. Lavrov, everybody is speaking about country. We are our country, their country. Country, it's states. Slovakia is not country, it's a state. I can speak about country when I open my window or somewhere in the forest. It's a nice view, nice country. But from the point of view of a politician, it's a state. And you can see that really almost the whole world is like brainwashed. Everybody is speaking about countries.
Let me clarify. This is a very interesting idea. I also support you because from a typical point of view, country is a territory, is a space, while state is an independent actor.
With borders.
With borders.
With nation.
Yeah, if we
language.
True.
Army.
Yeah. If we talk about countries, we talk about territories, and territories can be run maybe by one person or a group of persons, and there is no identity, there is no sovereignty, there is nothing. If we're talking about states, we're talking about equal actors that have own opinions, impressions, wills, etc. So we're talking about not just a common space. We're talking about different people with different approaches, which we must respect.
But now we live in very unique time when maybe not very big countries, no very big states, and not very powerful states begin to play a big role. For example, Orban and Trump and their dialogue, and now we see the first results.
Yeah.
And that is why I think this conversation and our conversation as well is a very important part of this new common agenda.
Yeah, it's the world is changing in front of our eyes. It will not be in the future. It is now. The world is changing. And hopefully, Slovak nation will be a part of the creation of the new. It will be a new world order. And
but not their new world order.
Our new.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing of our lives, and it's the biggest thing of our lives. If there will be another World War III because of European Union, NATO, without United States. This is the biggest thing in our lives of this century. The new world order is not as a deep state as Soros and Rothschilds and how they want it. No, it's really another new world order, and there is a sad thing about that because the Russian and Ukrainians have paid really hefty price with the lives of the men in the special operation. So more than 500,000 Ukrainians and also more than
a lot.
I don't know, a lot of Russians have died, and they really save the civilization hopefully they saved the civilization. They protected the Christian values, our traditions. This is the sad thing about it.
So maybe the final question in our conversation for today. How do ordinary Slovaks feel about Russians? Do you think the idea of brotherhood of Slavic peoples is relevant now? And what do we have in common?
As I said, there is a poll or research from NATO that showed to NATO, but also to the member states of European Union, to Brussels, that almost 2/3 of Slovak people are like with the hearts more to the east, like to the west. And that's a really strange thing, because we are like the Serbic nation. The Serbs are also looking more to Russian Federation than to the Western countries, and we can compare it to Czech Republic, because Slovaks and Czechs, they are really like brothers. We have so many in common. We understand almost 100% what we are saying. We was like Czechoslovakia, like a state, afterwards a federation. We help each other, and it's a different story in Czech Republic. There is a 2/3 oriented more to the west, like to the east. So the Slovaks are different. We are like black sheep in the European Union right now. And one of the biggest problem of us, of like Slavics, is that there are decades and decades of this I don't know, it's called propaganda or activity to separate the Slavic nations, and it works, and really works. Poland and Russia Federation, there is a strange, awkward, I don't know what. But the Polish are really against Russian Federation.
To be honest, it was historically like that since the beginning.
I know. They always wanted to be the leaders of Slavic people, but in this time, when the shape of the world is changing, it is the time to make a really not thin but wide line. This is the history. Don't forget what is the history of the nations. But let's discuss the history just on the historical events, and try to focus to the future. So if Poland, Slovakia, Czechia, Croatia, Serbia, and all the other Slavic states want to profit, they have to be able to compete with all the nations like Germany, German nation, French nation, with the United States. And if we want to be able to compete, we have to have a strong industry. And if we want to have the strong industry, we have to have cheap inputs. And the energy carriers are the most important. In Slovakia, we are like Detroit, because when you count how many cars we are producing, we are the leaders in the world on one Slovak, so on one head. And almost 65 to 70% of our industry is headed towards the auto industry, towards to Germany, and Germany is the strongest economy in European Union. 50% of the industry in Germany is automotive, and now they are struggling. So I'm really afraid that Slovakia will end like Detroit. It will be catastrophic for us. And they're struggling because they cannot compete because of the inputs. We are buying 3 to 4 times more expensive electricity, 5 to 6 times more expensive gas.
Than it was before.
Than it was before, and also you have to imagine that those Democrats, those liberals, those that wanted to be the part of free market, they came up with this Green Deal, and they destroyed the free market with the electromobility. You have to stop making engines, diesel engines and petrol engines till 2035. Why?
Green agenda.
Green agenda, but why? It's economically suiciding. We are killing ourselves, and they are killing also the nations. So this have to change. And that's why I'm saying that European Union, it cannot be saved. It's my opinion, but
it can be saved through changes, and we will support these changes.
Yes.
Positive changes.
Something can be saved.
Not the European Union itself. Let's say
national states of European Union can be saved when European Union will fall apart.
Correct.
And we will join the new world order, maybe BRICS, maybe the new Silk Way, and other project that will in the future be created. Like maybe if we are speaking, we spoke also about the European army. We can speak about the Euro-Asia project of alliance, peaceful alliance of Europe and Asia.
Everything is possible.
So, thank you very, very much for this very interesting conversation, Pavol.
You're welcome.
Yes, and it's clear why we are communicating with each other in this program, because it's really increase our outlook.
Definitely.
Enlarge.
Do you on the end? Do you want to have one more information that you don't know? And it's really interesting when you
inside information.
Yeah, it's not inside information.
Go on. The floor is yours.
But do you know that the Slovak Republic have spent 3.77 milliards through Institute of Kiel to help the Ukrainians? And it is so much money when you count it to the GDP that is 8 times more than United States on one citizen, and 10 times more than France.
Really?
Yeah.
It's really very interesting.
And the one thing
that's a lot.
That's a lot. 10 times more than France. 8 times more than the United States when you count it through the GDP and to a citizen.
You see, this is a capitalism. The poor pay twice or even 10 times more than the rich one pays. From this certain point of view.
This is the way that it works. You can work with the numbers. And it's a big difference when a really poor state, member state of NATO and the European Union is giving such a big budget to the Bandera regime in Ukraine, and when somebody is helping that when he had a lot of money. And I think, and it's really sad that the Kiel institution had count the numbers through the account of Ministry of Defense of Slovakia. And the true value of the weapons, of the MiG-29s, of the S-300, the air defense, where the value was more or were higher than the account value. So it's maybe more than 8 times and 10 times. And that was just like interesting.
A really very bright illustration of what you have in European Union. Yeah. And by the way, we in Russia don't think about it and don't know about it, but it's very important information.
Yeah, we've been told a lot that the main burden of the support of Ukraine is on the United States. In straight numbers, this is the true, but if we count, as you said, if we divide the donations into the population, for example, of Slovakia or any other small nation in the European Union, we see that each, let's say, European citizen contributed much more than, for example, ordinary American citizen.
And do you know that who is the guarantor of the loan of the 177 milliards that was given or leased from United States to Ukraine?
Who?
Hit me.
European Union. We are. So if Ukraine will not pay the loan or will not pay the money back, the citizens of the member states of European Union will do it.
It's like a no-lose lottery, you know. In any case, the Americans will win.
Who needs enemies when he has such partners like United States?
Very good casino for United States, I think.
Yeah.
Hopefully they will change. Hopefully they will change. But if they want to put America in the first place, if they want to make it great again, I'm really afraid that what will be the cost of it.
So thank you very, very much, Pavol, for this conversation once again.
We will not stop here. We will put a few dots.
Yes,
few dots, yeah.
yes.
We will definitely continue because we have a lot to talk.
And hope to see you again.
Hopefully we will see us next time when I will be in Moscow.
Yeah, we'll be waiting for you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Pavol.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everybody, and especially the West, and I know I bring up the West point a lot, but especially the West, the media tries and make it look like it's all about freedom. It's all about democracy. And we should celebrate our freedom and democracy. But when you dig a little deeper, like we do, in Beyond the Spin, you start asking the question, is the West really a democracy? Are the West really free? Are the people in the West really free? Are the media free? Are the companies free? I'll tell you what, in my experience as a presenter and in the past 20 years, I've taken certain opinions. I'll give you an example. I've taken the opinion in the past 2 years that I feel Russia is in the right after the Minsk agreements were violated to attack. And because to attack inside Ukraine. And also because of those people in Luhansk and Donetsk and Crimea were under threat, and Russia protecting its citizens. I took the stand to be pro-Russian in that specific regard, not because I'm Russian. I'm not being paid to do this. I can't even speak Russian. I've never been to Russia. But I'll say that I saw the truth, and then I was suppressed. People were attacking me because I, on social media, made it very open and clear that for this specific war happening between Ukraine and Russia, that in the end, I was attacked for it because I was for Russia, because I saw the truth. And people said, no, you can't give your opinion. You're a public figure. You can't say this. You can't excuse me. My constitutional rights guarantee that I have free speech. What about our democracy? So democracy and capitalism, it only suits them when it works for them. If it works against them, they'll turn against democracy, they'll turn against freedom, they'll turn against constitutions, and they'll try and find a way to suppress any kind of public speaker against their opinion, any kind of journalist. So yes, I've myself had experience of it, a very small amount of it, but I saw through that, and I saw that this democracies we live in is not really democracies, and they're not really free.
Zvezda Holding presents Dynamic Spectrum Talks now.